In this video, I'm going to walk through how you can work through your Everbee shop and make it look as good as possible. So here I am on the main dashboard. Here's my website. It's zenwatercooler.myeverbee.com. And I want to go in here now and actually look at my website. So what I can do here is copy this domain name, and then I can pop open a new window and I can see exactly what my shop is going to look like. So this is my actual website. And right now there's just a bunch of blank product descriptions. I've got some text here at the top. I've got some menu items. How do I change this stuff? I'm going to go through that in this video. Let's jump in. Okay, the big thing here is on the left-hand side. If you click on this little button right here next to the dashboard, it's going to expand out this menu. And then what you'll want to do is go to Designer and then Builder. Okay, and what you're going to see now on the left-hand side is a menu, and you're going to see the actual website on the right, but I can change things now in my website. So what I can do, for example, is I can just hover over the different sections and you can see there's a little blue box around them. So this first one is called Header. Next one's called Hero. And then down below is Our Products. And as I scroll on right down to the bottom, we'll see Image with Text and then also Email Sign Up. And then right down at the bottom is Footer. So these little blue headers on each of the sections. This one's called Footer. This one's called Email Sign Up. These are the names of the sections inside my first page. And the page that I'm on is right here. It's my home page. So imagine this is like my room in my house is called home page. And then this is all the furniture that I have inside each room. I can also flip this to go to other rooms in the house. So I could go to terms and conditions, for example. And this is now a new room in the house. And I have completely different furniture now sitting here in that room. Now, one thing I want to point out really quickly is if you've created your store and you didn't name it when the AI is creating it, you might run into this issue. So my name of my store here is Zen Watercooler. That's me. And as I scroll on down, you're going to see under the terms of service, for example, it says here by accessing and using the services provided by Horror Threads. Whoops, what is Horror Threads? Well, Horror Threads is what happened when I set up my shop. So this page here, for example, when you're first setting up your shop, if you click this first option, Create with AI, you have an option here now to type in what you'd like your website to be. So here we can see I've typed in, I want to create an online t-shirt store that caters to horror enthusiasts, and it gives me some options here. You'll notice nowhere have I stated what I want the name of the actual store to be, so it just guesses, and it called my store Horror Threads. So here I've typed in share your details. I've typed in create a t-shirt shop online and name it Viking Threads. Now it's given me examples down below, and you'll notice in each of the examples here, it's calling the store Viking Threads. So whether you use these options or whether you just click go, either way, the AI is going to know that you're trying to make this Viking Threads. So I'm going to click the second one here. I'm excited to launch Viking Threads, and I'm going to click go. And now the AI is creating the store, but it knows that I want to create the store name Viking Threads. Now, because I haven't given it anything else, it's coming up with ideas here. Embrace my Viking spirit, authentic Viking apparel. I'm going to click next. I'll select the last of the details here and I'll go to my dashboard. And we'll see here that my store is now called viking-threads.myeverbee.com. Now I can change this if I want. I can go in here to business info and then I click domain right here. And I can change this now to something else. So for example, if I didn't want the dash in there, I could call it Viking Threads. And now I'll click save. And when I go back to my dashboard, we'll see it says vikingthreads.myeverbee.com. So you can change this if you want, but just be aware, the more information you give the AI, usually the better it will be. Don't forget to add in your name when you're first setting up the store. But in my case, good old Zen Watercooler, I did not do that. I set up my store and I forgot to add in my name. So if you're in the same boat as me, you'll have to go through each of the pages and you'll have to undo what has been already written in here. Not a big deal. So I'm going to click on this rich text box and you'll see now over on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of text that comes up. If I click on the header, for example, you'll see it changes. So the text is being indicated at the top or whatever box that I select. Here it's rich text. And so this is my content, my style, and then I've got a couple advanced options there, but mostly I'm in the content and I can just simply update this. So I've just simply typed in Zen Watercooler and I've removed Horror Threads. So you want to go through, maybe use Control F, for example. That will highlight everything that is Horror Threads or whatever it is that your store's named. and you would have to go through and you can update. Now, when you're happy with the way this looks, make sure to hit the publish button on the top right-hand side. If you don't do this and you go out of this and you start working in another page, it may not save the information that you've been working in. So I'm going to hit the publish button here on the top right, and we'll see down at the bottom right, it's been published. And now I can click on the preview button on the top right. And now I'll go to the About Us section, which is where I was working, and we'll see right here, it's now been updated with the new text. Another way you can access the design feature. So over on the left, I'm clicking designer and then builder. Another thing that you can do is just right here at the top right, there's a design site button. If I click that, that just takes me right in now to the builder option. And I'm back in the exact same part. So what you want to do here is take a look on the left-hand side, and you're going to see there's a header. That's right here. You'll see this hero option. That's right here. As I scroll down, you'll see our products. That's right here. If you want to delete an entire section, you can do so pretty easily. So to delete this entire section, I'm going to go here to the left-hand side, and I'm going to simply click this little trash button right here. So obviously make sure this is what you want. It's going to ask you one last time, are you sure this can't be undone? I'll click yes, delete, and now we can see it's completely gone. You can also remove items inside of sections. So down in the footer, for example, I'm going to select the footer section. And as I scroll on down to the bottom, you'll see that there's little links here down at the bottom, which is like Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. And you can remove these if you don't want to use them. So for example, right here on the left-hand side, I've got social media, Instagram. If I turn that off, you'll see it just instantly disappeared. If I turn off X, which is Twitter, that's gone, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So now I don't have any social media listed. So it's your choice if you want to have all of them turned on, some of them turned on, or any of them turned on. Now, if I wanted to link to my YouTube, for example, I would simply activate this link, and then I can put the link to my YouTube channel right here. So for YouTube, I'm just simply going to click inside the box. I've entered in my YouTube channel, and now I'll click publish. Okay, so I'm on my About Us page now in real life. This is my actual website. I scroll on down, and I'm going to click on this little YouTube button right here. And when I click on it, we'll see that my YouTube channel pops open. Awesome. So I do recommend that you test out these links as you move along. It can be a bit tedious if you have a lot of links, but I would not recommend you make 50 updates and then publish, because if you miss testing something, it can really be an eyesore, or it can really be a needle in a haystack trying to find out what it is that you changed. I would suggest you change it, publish it, test it, change it, publish it, test it. You can add in images on your website as well. So let's take a look at that. So I'm on my main page here, my home page, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to go here to refund policy, for example. I'm just going to pick a random page. And so in this case, I would like to add an image into this section, okay? So I want to make sure I've got my section selected. So here I've got rich text selected. And then I can see all of the different text along the left-hand side. Okay, and let's say that I want to add the picture in right here at the top. So I'm going to go right in between refund policy and return eligibility. So I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to put a picture right in between those two lines. What I'm going to do here is select the 3 vertical lines, which is show more items. And there's a picture button right here, upload image from my computer. I'm going to do that. Now I can insert via a URL, so that's like a link to a picture, or I can upload from my computer. I'm going to pick a picture from my computer. Okay, now I just picked a random mock-up picture, but you get the idea. Whatever picture you stick in here, that's what's going to show up now on your website. Now it's quite large, so when you click on it, you have the option here to make it original, custom, or smaller. And so I'm just going to pick 25%, for example. You can see there it's 25%. If I change it to something larger like 75, you'll see it's quite large. So it's all personal preference on how you would like that to look. Again, I would recommend that you hit publish when you're happy with the way this looks, and then actually go to the website. So I've scrolled down to the bottom here. I'm going to click return policy. That's the page that I just changed. And there's my mock-up picture, or whatever picture that you're trying to upload. Just make sure that it's looking good in real life as you move along. You can also remove links completely. So think of these again as rooms in a house. So here I am on my main page, and I've got links on my main page to different pages that are found in my drop-down menu. So I can add a page, or I can remove a page. Let's start by removing a page. The first thing I'm going to do is go right down to the bottom, And we can see I've got a link here to return policy. So that page exists. Now I just want to remove the link to it. So down at the bottom, I'm going to select my footer section that has the link return policy. And as I scroll down to the very bottom here, I can see return policy is here. I can change the name of it, and you'll see it updates in real time. I just typed in returns and it immediately changed how it looks to returns. But I can also just remove that link. If I click delete, you'll notice it just disappears. Okay, so I've removed the refund policy page. It's no longer visible. The page still exists though. So when you go to your very top, you'll see when I scroll down, the refund policy page still exists. It just isn't visible. So you can have hidden pages on your website that as long as you can go to this URL right here, you will access that page. It's just not available on the menu. Okay, so at some point you want to update your menu down here at the bottom. And in this case, in this example, I'm going to say I want to update my links option to add in that refund page again. Take a look at your quick links menu, and you'll notice I've got links sitting here. And then underneath is about us with a link and help with a link. Okay, so these are the links sitting here. So what I want to do now is add something to the links menu. So I'm going to click this little button here to add a third option. And now I'm going to type in the word refund policy. You'll see it populates down below instantly right there. And now I'm going to attach a link. So it says, please attach a link. I'm going to click the button. And now when I click inside this box, you'll see there's different pages that are going to come up. So I'm going to click this refund policy. It's only giving me the rooms in the house that are already created. So I'm going to click refund policy. And now I'll click publish. Okay, so I'm on my real life website. I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom. I'll see refund policy is there. And when I click on refund policy, it takes me to the refund policy page that's always existed. I just removed it from the menu and then added it back into the menu. Everbee is really changing the game on how print on demand works, how digital downloads work, physical products, so if you want to sell those online, or even memberships or courses. This is a great way that you can easily and quickly set up a website where you can sell and provide value to the world and make some money doing it. I'll put a link to Everbee in the video description below. Highly recommend them. Check them out. Just a heads up, it is an affiliate link, and that just means if you click on the link and you purchase the Everbee subscription, I would receive a small commission. I highly recommend the Everbee Store. It's really cool. And hopefully you found this video helpful. Here's another video on how you can continue to grow using Everbee.